Support baby bonuses for a new baby boom. How does that sound? That sounds pretty. I want a baby boom.
One quick thing. The baby boom wasn't about getting paid to have babies. It was about the optimism of opportunity in the country. That's what's missing. Now, Trump thinks he's going to pay it back with a check and get it back. He wants people to get married and have more babies. So there are rules. You got to be married. I'm assuming they're going to want you to be a citizen. And then they'll have a baby if you reach full term and have it. The White House is assessing ways to persuade women to have more children. Some of the ideas suggested: $5,000 baby bonus, funding programs to teach women about their menstrual cycles to help them conceive, for all you women who don't know how to get pregnant. Giving a National Medal of Motherhood to moms with 6 or more kids, and reserving 30% of Fulbright scholarships to applicants who are married or have kids. Now, the plan has critics. Of course it does. This is Trump's way to make more white Christian families. Now, they didn't use the words white or Christian, so let's take a look at what it's about and what it could and maybe could not be. Conservative strategist, commentator Rena Shaw, mom as well. Professor, no money for her though, professor of medical ethics at the NYU Grossman School of Medicine, Art Kaplan. Art, good to see you again. Rena, good to see you again. Okay, do we like this or do we not like this?
Well, I don't like it.
You don't like it? And Rena, do you like it or not?
It's kind of racism in disguise.
Well, hold on.
If you wanted
hold on, Art. Art, I'm going to come to you about it, but Rena, where are you on it? Yes or no?
I'm a yes. I like it. On its face, I know it sounds offensive, but I think the intent is good.
Okay, so, Art, why don't you think the intent is good? There's no white in there. There's no Christian in there. That doesn't even say you got to be a citizen. I'm sure it would be added in a Trump administration. But why don't you like it?
I don't like it because if you really were interested in babies, there are plenty of immigrants here whose kids are being deported. If you were interested in babies, there are plenty of people who would come here and become citizens and bring their babies. Way behind in the background, as you've said already, Chris, is the idea that we want more white Christian babies. That's what Elon Musk and many of his followers are all about. That's what Stephen Miller, the policy advisor, is all about. So what we have here is a little bit of eugenics. We want the right kind of babies. That's what we want to reinforce. I also find it a little bit morally offensive to say we're going to reward people who have 6 kids or more. That isn't necessarily something that we have to say that's a good thing for you to be doing as a woman or a family. People can have 2 kids, replacement kids. What's with the huge, enormous family rewards? Why subsidize that? Mm-hmm. Lastly, if you give somebody a $5,000 baby bonus, you know what the impact will be of that? Nothing. As you have said, people are afraid, they feel economic uncertainty. It's optimism that makes people decide to have a family and have kids. $5,000 raising a kid in the U.S. to 18, probably $500,000.
Yeah.
What do you think the baby bonus is?
$500,000. You should go. Yeah. I'll have a conversation with you about my 3 cost centers. $500,000. I'll take that deal all day long. Oh, so, Rena, how are you looking at it? How are you looking at it as a tool for optimism?
Well, I think there's some economic realities here that we have to acknowledge out of the gate. And what the Trump administration is trying to do is be proactive. They're trying to solve for something, which I think any industrialized modern nation tries to do. They see a declining birth rate. They're thinking to themselves, how do we make America great again? We have more children to show how great Americans can be. We proliferate our message across the world that free, just, open, and modern societies are the way to go. You do it with your citizenry, right? And I think in general, what they are aiming to do is a good thing, but there are a realm of possibilities that open the door for something bad. And then they're also not, again, thinking of the economic reality, which is important. I mean, people are delaying motherhood due to economic pressure at a rate that's never been done before. And they're doing it because of things like rising costs of childcare, housing, education, and that outweighs one-time payments that the administration is proposing. So again, they're trying to solve something because in 2023, what we saw is American fertility rates hit a historic low of 1.62 births per woman, and that's well below replacement levels, as Elon Musk well knows.
Now, I'll tell you what I think is interesting about this, Art. You and I represent the past, okay? Our people came a long time ago. Yours were probably in the early aughts and the teens. Mine were in the 20s. I'm second generation. Rena is the new wave. She is one of the most interesting American stories. Remind people, Rena, of where your parents are from, but where they live. And, you know, it's really America, only in America.
You know, I think that the diversity is a strength, and I've always believed that a strong American family unit embraces that, can you know, lean into cultural norms like intergenerational living. I grew up with my grandparents in the home. They were kicked out of Uganda by Idi Amin, a dictator. But my family is ancestrally from India, and we found roots in southern West Virginia. I'm a millennial. I'm a mom of 3, and it's all very complicated when you talk about what my generation of women wants. What we want is to be free, and we want options.
Yeah.
And I think any solution that this administration tries to pursue has to be rooted in that, again, reality of saying we want to achieve a demographic goal here, but how do we keep individual freedoms, you know, safe, intact, and in general, at the end of the day, what I would say is this: you want to empower the American woman to choose motherhood. You don't want to pressure her into it, because it's not for everyone, as we all know.
Right, they're not just a baby-making machine, and $5 grand will get them over the hump of indecision. Rena, I appreciate it, and I'll tell you what, I don't think it's complicated. I don't think it's messy. I think it is the signature blessing of the country. I think what your family has achieved already is proof of what the potential is here that you can't do anywhere else. Art Kaplan showed that, the Cuomos showed that, and now it's the Shaws. Thank you very much for takes on both sides of this. Doc, it's good to see you again. Rena, always a pleasure. 4 minutes.